Peace and good day, everybody. I was listening to everybody's feedback and respectfully for the way each person feels. And as I'm listening and kind of digging back into my own thoughts, when we come out and we do work in the community, and like you said, a lot of people, they look for a full house. They want it to be packed. They want to see that people are coming out. That's not the reality of things. And then, you speak on mental health. And the truth about that is a lot of people don't understand that when you come to a place, as you describe as being uncomfortable, you're not uncomfortable. You're in a place of opportunity. You are in a place of growth and transformation. And that's very hard for people. Sometimes you can't get people to come out and support because people feel a certain way in reference to you and what you're doing. And what they don't realize is that's their opportunity of growth. Why do you feel uncomfortable towards another person? Why do you feel uncomfortable in the presence of someone? That's an opportunity of growth. That's an opportunity for you to look within yourself, because the reality that people can post about and stream about and speak about is that we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
And when you can recognize that someone has tapped into a piece of you that is, like we say, unhealed, that's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Community starts with you. As we've said, it's to come. It's to be present. But you can't be present if you harbor a feeling that we can speak of like ego or jealousy. Those feelings are opportunities, and people don't reflect that. When you mention mental health, people think of sickness, and nobody wants to feel sick.
It's true.
So we have to address it in a mannerism that people don't feel offended, that people don't feel like they're being attacked, or people don't feel like they need to be fixed. But it's not about fixing, it's about growing. And me and you had a conversation that everything comes with presentation. Everything comes with how you speak to people. People need to feel welcome. They need to feel wanted. They need to feel like they're not an object of a place where they need to be helped, because everybody still has ego. Not understanding that ego is healthy. People think that you got an ego or pride, that you're unhealthy. It's not unhealthy. Everybody has it. And you have to have it in order to know where you need to continue to transform yourself.
That's a fact.
So we can put forth who we are. We can walk in our passion. We can walk in our purpose. For people who don't know what their passion and purpose is, those are still those same people who are pulling away, because they haven't hit a place where they've recognized that scars are just references to battles that you fought and you've won. That's all scars are. It's not, people look at it and say, oh, that's pain. No, it's not pain. Pain is pressure. Everything that's under pressure is deep. It's buried. And only when it comes to light does it turn beautiful. Diamonds, they don't shine, they reflect. They reflect light. You are light. But you won't know that until you've hit that dark space. So you have to come out of that dark space and see the light. And that light can be coming from someone else for you to find it.
Yeah.
So when I say come out and support us, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So people get tripped up then by pain and a bruise. A bruise is really a different kind of thing, because bruises don't usually heal. That's why a bruised ankle is so difficult to get past, because you think you're okay, and then something happened, and there it is, and that has a lot of spiritual connotation. According to my faith, we're told that Jesus died for that too, so that's covered. That bill been paid, and if you want to work on it, even if you don't get like a miraculous healing, the insurance been paid, so go on and get some help. Go get some mental health help. I've covered that, so to speak, if you can.
There's some therapy still,
Yes.
We still need to continue, because like you said, it sometimes it's deeper than visual.
Deeper.
And sometimes we can make the assumption and we get up and we walk, and then the next thing you know, we trying to jog, and then we trip because it gives out. It only means that you need more work. It doesn't mean that you're broken. It doesn't mean that you're helpless. It means that you have more work to do.
And if you have a scar, it doesn't mean that underneath there's a healing. Like I tell people, if you still hurt from something, you got to allow God to take the sting out of it. It still hurts. It's not healed. If we got to open that up and sew something up, right? It happens sometimes. You got a scar, but then there's, how you say it, a puncture there still. You still got to work on that. That's a good point. You can have a scar and it looks, if you have a scar and it's healed, that's a badge of honor. But if you have a scar and you got pain, you got to open that up and work on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with this whole More Peace and this Less Violence event that we doing, and this is not an event, so we need to find a better way, a better language, and to express this, because this is something that needs to continue on into our community, and this is just our first steps of doing so. Pastor Peace, man, why do you think doing these kind of gatherings in our community is important?
It's important because it's a movement. And by movement, I mean it's a call to action. So when something's always moving, it won't remain stagnant. And so we do it one time and we expect big changes and a lot of people. And so a lot of people don't show up and you don't get big changes and it's over. And so if you get one person to come out and get that one person, you get their attention, you pique their interest, you can talk to them, that one person can change a whole nation.
Right.
That one person might be the president of something major, the one that finds a cure for cancer, the one that gets to make all that money to give us all we need to do what we need to do. So you gotta keep something alive, keep it fresh, keep it moving. Nowhere in history have we ever really seen something happen once and lasted, especially when it's deep-rooted and embedded deeply within the fabric of society. You know, like Tafari, you were talking when we were starting this out, when we were doing our planning, you said we're starting before the kids get out of school. We wait too long. And so here it is, right? We did our first event and then all this shooting here in Buffalo and then all over the place, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and you have these 18-year-olds and different things, and nobody's really tackling the gun thing. And then if we look at this and we're looking outwards, no, let's start with, you just killed my child. Come live this here. Come walk through this with me. I'm inviting you into my life. You just killed the breadwinner. Or you just killed the one that gave me hope. It's like, we got to keep this. If we live every day, we got to have peace every day. If we don't have peace every day, we have violence every day. But if we can get like a happy medium, we're on our way. And I think that's what our events will do, will help us to get closer to what more peace looks like.
Wow. So, Love, with you being from upstate, you being from Troy, raised in Troy, what does it feel like really, man, to continue what we do for the city? Because we ain't just getting started. We just getting restarted. You know what I'm saying? So how does it feel to really and truly, man, bring more peace and less violence to the city? And everywhere else around you, actually.
I mean, growing up when I was a teenager, like, much of these young people, I have always had an involved, active parent. My mother was the mother to many of the kids in the streets whose mothers weren't around. I had kids knocking on my door at 2 a.m, looking for something to eat. I've had kids sleeping on my mother's living room floor, with blankets. My mother was very involved. And we can continue to look and say as young people, and say that, there's a gun violence, and guns are not violent, people are violent, and the people who are violent are people who are in need of help. But it goes beyond the young people. It goes into the generations before that, because this violence has not escalated with just our young people and just in this community. Right. This has been over periods of time. You just haven't seen it in the physical form of violence with guns. There has been abuse and life walking around but dead on the inside for decades. And now we're just seeing it erupted by these young people who haven't had the healthy atmospheres and lifestyles that we need to give them. So when we come out and we say more peace, less violence in this city, and like you said, there's a lot of bright young people who are losing their lives. And it's not senseless, because people will say senseless. I don't think that it's senseless. I think that it's our young people who have been allowed to normalize violence. We're not normalizing violence. We're not normalizing street memorabilia. That's not what we're going to continue to allow. We want to come out and say, if you're a parent and you're having a tough time, that's what we're here for. There's an extension to the family, because family's not what you're born into, it's what you make it. And I know that because I've grown up in this city in the 518. When my mother wasn't home and I went down the street and I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, you best believe the neighbor said, get in the car. Like I have explained, my mother was the mother who was the mother on the block. I had at least 10 kids on my stoop in front of my house when the lights came on. So we're just giving back to our city and beyond. The bridges that connect the 518, we are going to bring our city, our zip code, give it back the life that it deserves. Because it's not just Troy, it's Albany, it's Schenectady, it's Cohoes, it's Waterville, Waterford. It's any place around you that you travel into and you have an opportunity to help somebody, you need to do your due diligence. And we're not going to excuse it. Y'all can be on social media and post. Social media is not life. It's a social app that allows you to connect with people. But if you're connecting with people and it's for reasons other than helping somebody elevate or helping somebody with an opportunity, then you're using social media wrong.
Yes.
We're not putting videos up of people getting jumped and people getting beat. We're not putting videos up of people losing their life. Why should some family have to witness a loved one being killed before somebody gets to tell them? This is not the normality that we want to continue to let our young people grow up in. So adults who are out here, young mothers, young parents, grandparents who are raising your grandchildren because the mothers aren't well enough to do so, come out and support. And if you don't know how to support, come out and ask for support. Just show up and be present, because your presence alone is an impact somewhere that you may not realize.
It's a fact. I think that what Love just stated is just all facts. And I think that when we talk about more peace and we talk about less violence in our communities, it starts with not just being outside, it's online as well. Online is the new outside. This is where most of our young people hang on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to really understand, there is a phrase that my brother used all the time when it comes to content and when it comes to our platform and what we pushing out. We don't create criminal content. We don't create criminal content in real life, and we don't create criminal content in online. If you want to talk more peace, less violence, it starts with your platform. You know, what you pushing out, you got to be very mindful of young people that's paying attention. You got to pay mindful to the people that's mentally ill and unhealthy in our community. We need to feed more positive information, more positivity into our community as adults, as mentors, as neighbors, you know, and that's why we doing this, man. So I'm hoping that people come on out and be a part of these more or less violent events, because this is what it's about.
You know, I was thinking about something, and it doesn't matter how much money we get or what we do. A group of people are going to always fall between the cracks, right?
Yes.
So if they can't get it from out there, what if they could get it from within the community, right? That's why our facility is so important, our multi-purpose building, right? A mother has to work, and then younger children, they get daycare and they get after-school care. You're gonna always have a group of kids who don't meet the criteria, and the mama doesn't have the money to send them to school or after school, and she can't be there if it's a single family home or two-parent home. They got to work. What if we had a facility that we could grab those kids that would be out there in the street, teach them something, have them do an internship, mentor, shadow, what do they like to do, and all the opportunities for them to choose from. What if we could grab all those kids all the time? We'd have some weapons of technology, science, oh my gosh, money-making, business mindset.
Entrepreneurism.
And we're starting early. We're waiting too late. Even 14 to 18 to work is kind of late. How about we do some prep, pre-work, before they get to that age? Because, and I was talking to Andre.
Yes, from
the youth.
One Stop. Shout out
Yes.
to Andre.
Praise God. Hey, Andre. What about the kids 11 to 13? We need to do something with those children because they're the 13. The difference between 13 and 14 is a day. They're 13 this year. Next year they're gonna be 14, and then it's gonna be the same thing. Forget the high school to prison pipeline, middle school to high school to prison pipeline. We got to sever. In fact, take it back, elementary, and start building. We're just waiting too long because the streets grab them. And I'm saying to the church, my brothers and my sisters, pastors, bishops, leaders, whatever titles that you have that I might not be able to say because they're so long. I'm just simple Pastor Peace. Don't call me doctor or anything. Just call me Pastor Peace. Let's get from behind the four walls. I am at the riverfront the first Sunday of every month in the community, watching our young people doing their thing. Tafari and his people, his team, doing the thing. We're doing our thing, and we're listening to each other, and we're talking. And you have mothers and people who have losses, experience the pain, talking about how they have been traumatized and left devastated because we gave them 2 weeks to heal. When you have not even, it hasn't hit you yet that you lost your loved ones. And they might not have had health insurance or life insurance and money. And it is so deep. So everybody's grabbing and running to make money to put a program together when we don't even know what the problem is. How about getting there? Let's talk for a while. Let's build, right? Let's dig out, dig out so we can build. Stop the anecdotes, the ideologies. Get out of the office on a Sunday and meet us at the riverfront. If we could, we are sponsoring this. It's not cheap for us. We could be working, making money, but we're giving up that time to come down and speak to you. So we do it. You get to do it too. It's not just us. It's community. There's unity and community, and that's one of my channels that I'm working on. My Facebook, YouTube channel, Unity and Community, and I'm also starting my podcast. It was approved. I'm just getting the lingo. Y'all are teaching me. Forgive me. And it's called Through Dialogue. That's going to be the name of my podcast, and we're going to talk about everything. It's going to be healthy. A lot of people.